Yes, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Do please, come on, like and subscribe, and leave me some comments. Criticism, if you will. Just hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me slowly, hit me quick. Today I'm going to talk about a very strange occurrence because it seems that the Minister of Justice, Shabina Mahmood, the Secretary of Justice, the Justice Secretary, has decided that she can't do anything officially to prevent the latest nonsense which is going to result in people of ethnic minority groups being evaluated before they are sentenced in court. Seriously. Just ethnic minority groups. So they're going to have like a full report written to the court, assess them, because it seems that a disproportionate amount of people of ethnic minority are being sentenced to long terms of imprisonment. I wonder if it might have occurred to somebody that these people have gone through the criminal justice system, been tried by a jury of their peers, obviously before they're sentenced in Crown Court, and then found guilty and sentenced by the courts. This would seem to suggest that the courts are discriminating against people of ethnic minority groups. Do you think that's the case? Would our justices do that? Would our judges actually do that? Would the juries disproportionately find people of ethnic minority groups or transgender or whatever specific minority group it is? Would they deliberately go out of their way and prejudiciously find them guilty just because they're members of ethnic minority groups? Or could there be another reason that disproportionately members of ethnic minority groups are being sentenced to long terms of imprisonment? Could there be? Could it just be that they are offending? It could be. I mean, I'm not personally racially prejudiced. I'm not. I won't go as far as to say a lot of my best friends are members of ethnic minority groups, because basically they're not. I have got friends who are members of ethnic minority groups. I've got friends who are rabbis, friends who are members of different cultures. Of course, this is the world. We live in the world. And if you commit offences in this particular part of the world, i.e. Great Britain, then you would expect, I think reasonably expect, that you're going to be subjected to the laws of the land. But it seems not. The government has commissioned a Quango, that's a quasi-autonomous non-governmental organisation, just in case you didn't know what a Quango was. And they have come up with this strange idea that members of ethnic minority groups should have a full evaluation of their personal life, their background, their education, and let's see if we can find some good reason not to sentence them to imprisonment. Unlike the 78-year-old retired teacher, GALE DELAP. She's been sentenced to imprisonment, indeed it is imprisoned, and doesn't get out until the 7th of April, I believe it's 7th of April. She was a protester in this Stop Oil movement. Now, I'm not a great fan of people gluing themselves to the motorway or anything like that, or chaining themselves to railings, but it seemed to work in the past for the members of the suffragette movement, didn't it? Emily Pankhurst, etc. Because up until they protested, women didn't have the vote. That was another idea, wasn't it, eh? Don't give women the vote. Yeah, they should be staying at home making tea. Try telling that to my wife. Get a frying pan on the back of the head. Hey, and it hurts too. But anyway, yeah. So at the moment we've got GALE DELAP, and she would have been at home on restrictions in her own home at the age of 78. Well, if she's got to be sentenced, why not? I mean, imprisonment at the age of 78 for somebody who's never committed an offence before. Where was the assessment of her personal background? What would they have found? That this lady, fast approaching 80, had never committed an offence, was living a perfectly reasonable middle-class lifestyle, not to bring class into it, you know, and that she was unlikely to actually commit further atrocious offences, such as protesting about the destruction of our atmosphere by the burning of fossil fuels. I mean, that's diabolical doing that, isn't it? So GALE DELAP, age 78, retired teacher, resides in prison, whilst the Minister of Justice, Shabina Mahmood, states that it's not possible to prevent the advice, the written advice and statements to the sentencing judges to instruct them to provide a written background and explain the sentence that they're going to. Now, have you ever, I don't know if anybody's ever sat in on a Quango, a quasi-autonomous non-governmental organisation. I have. About 15 years ago. And believe me, it's dip your bread in the gravy, boys. Dip your bread in the gravy. They have they have the meetings, and the meeting lasts about 2 hours, whatever it is. Then you have a big slap-up dinner. I mean, I don't eat a lot myself at lunchtime. I remember I had an apple. But I tell you, there's no restraining some of them. Plates groaning with the food, yeah? Wine, you name it. Yeah, it's a gravy train. So that's my little rant for today on Tales from the Jails. Did you know that Strangeways has only got 624 inmates? When I was there, they had 2,000 inmates. What a life. Anyway, Tales from the Jails. Do please like and subscribe. That's it, the song dinger. And you know what's going to happen now. So if you're hanging around, then don't blame me if it brings tears to your eyes. Because believe me, when you've heard this, you're going to cry, cry, cry. Just like Johnny Cash said. In this was his first big hit, by the way. Cry, cry, cry. And I'll bet you'll be doing that. Larry will, anyway. Everybody knows where you go when the sun goes down. I think you only live to see the lights uptown. I wasted my time when I would try. When the lights have lost their glow, well, you'll cry, cry, cry. I lie awake at night till you come in. You stay a little while and then you're gone again. Every question that I ask, I get a lie, lie, lie. For every lie you tell, you're gonna cry, cry, cry. You're gonna cry, 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 and you'll cry alone. When everyone's forgotten and you're left on your own, you're gonna cry, cry, cry. Oh, soon your sugar daddies will all be gone. You'll wake up some cold day and find you're alone. You're gonna call me, but I'm gonna tell you bye, bye, bye. When I turn around and walk away, you'll cry, cry, cry. When your fickle love gets old, no one will care for you. Then you'll come back to me for a little love that's true. I'll tell you no, and you're going to ask me why. Well, I remind you of this, you're gonna cry. You're gonna cry. You'll want me then, and it'll hurt when you think what a fool you've been. You're gonna cry. I'll bet some of you are crying now. Larry, give that little goat a stroke, yeah? That'll bring a smile to your face, no doubt, and all the rest of you. If you didn't like it, very wise. If you did, sick parade tomorrow morning. Tales from the jails.